Hello and welcome back to Viking Park for grand final day in the Griffin Legal John O'Den Cup. Second grade up next as we see Vikings awaiting the arrival of the Gungahlin Eagles. It's been a packed day so far with Queanbeyan taking 2 premierships in 4th grade and Colts. Gungahlin Eagles taking the 3rd grade premiership, the women's grand final on. Currently, as we see, Oscar Cunningham and Connor Jones lead out the Gungahlin Eagles, playing their 50th games for the Eagles. A massive game in 2nd grade here, meeting with the Vikings and the Gungahlin Eagles, and I'm joined in commentary by Lukey Fisher, mate. 2 of the best sides in 2nd grade competition meeting in the grand final.
Yeah, it's what you want to see from the competition. You know, we've got 1v2 here in the grand final. That's why, you know, there's been 2 form teams all year, and it's going to be a cracker of a match today.
Absolutely. Eagles, of course, were unbeaten towards a minor premiership this season, but met Vikings in the qualifying final and were unceremoniously beaten on that day. But came back last week to beat Queanbeyan 50-26, setting up this grand final. A real first grade look off both of these sides, Luke. Plenty of quality out there for Vikings and for Gungahlin.
Yeah, you start looking through those teams. You know, you see a lot of people who played a lot of first grade. You look at, you know, Sam Thomas was playing a lot for Tuggeranong this year. You've got Jack Helgeson, last year's McDougall medalist, playing in 2nd grade for the Eagles. You know, there's just class across the field with both teams. Absolutely.
We'll run you down those sides as we go. Here, Junior Satongi, Sam Thomas and Matt Wafer in the front row for Vikings as Jack Evenden gets us underway. The fly half for Vikings, partnering Captain Seamus Smith today. That's Jamie Cutts at fullback for Gungahlin, getting a good clearance early on for the Eagles. Luke Corcoran and Tom Hooper in the row for Vikings, with Reese Griffiths, Richard Joyce and Simone Vunilangi in the back row. And Sam Thomas looks to get off to a good start here at the line out and goes to Griffiths, but Stuart Crew up first for the Eagles. And here's Simon Anu at number 8 for the Gungahlin Eagles. Turned over Simon Anu, a big shot in there from Satongi. And Smith looks to play in behind but finds Dan Garner, the fly half for the Eagles, and his return is absolutely excellent.
Shane Smith's gone quick here.
Looking to play fast are the Vikings. It's Evenden met in a good shot by Connor Jones. Captain Smith looks for Joyce, and he carries into Eagles back row, Lua via Loa. Evenden onto the left foot. Finds a bit of space. Is popped off the ground into the face of Jamie Cutts, but he recovers well. Puts a bomb up for Vikings to deal with here. Jed Englert fluffs his lines there, so chance for Eagles to attack a back and forth start here. Lukey, all out action.
Yeah, you can see that it's off to a frenetic start here. Both teams really looking to use the ball and shifting it. But also there's been a bit of field position out on display there, and Gungahlin take the early advantage.
We saw Stuart Crew get up early for Eagles, getting the steal on this occasion. They go long to Helgeson, setting up the maul.
Well defended here by Tuggeranong though.
Absolutely going nowhere. So Vailoaloa looks to play the former Auckland halfback, a Samoan international halfback, Lua Vailoaloa, playing in the back row for Eagles 2nd grade here today.
He's one of the biggest halfbacks I've been seeing running around.
Brother of Brumbies back row and Wallabies back row, Pete Samu, so plenty of pedigree there for Lua Vailoaloa. Here's Luke Duffy on the outside edge. He's well taken by Travis Pula, but Eagles managed to hold on to the ball. Here's Ward digging, and he finds that man Helgeson, of course.
Met strongly there by Matty Wafer.
Wafer, a late change at tight head with TJ Sione, needed at 1st grade level. And the turnover comes for Vikings. Smith looks up, tries to get the bounce, but Claude Edwards in perfect field position. He returns. Bit of an in-between kick here from Edwards. Just goes long to Englert. And he has time to pick his spot, and a much better kick there from Jed Englert. A bit of a settler there for Vikings, having taken a bit of the early pressure from the Eagles.
Yeah, they've Eagles have shown their hand, played their hand a bit, but Tuggeranong defence has been up to the challenge so far. But Eagles are retaining the ball really well. Going to a short line out here again, 4-man.
We've got plenty of ball carriers out there in midfield with big Mark Berthelo and Simon Anu. They go long again to Helgeson.
Well contested there by Tuggeranong. But Simon Anu's a big in for Gungahlin. I think they were lacking a bit of his penetrating ball running in that major semi-final where Tuggeranong got on the front foot. Gungahlin will look to Simon to get them onto the front foot off that first phase.
Absolutely, and he was a difference maker last week out against Queanbeyan. Vailoaloa's kick is charged down. That's Tory Hydes on this wing. Tory Hydes came on the pitch early last week in first grade. Certainly stepped up, and a good start from him here in twos, and that's Evenden turning Gungahlin around. Excellent option.
Smart kick there by Evenden. You can see that Tuggeranong are really trying to play some field position early here now.
And that's a great return from Cots. Kicking battle, very interesting early. Both sides hitting their straps, but that's a cracking return.
Yeah,
from Jamie Cots.
Great kick there by Cotsy. More noted for his natural free-flowing running game, but he's just reminding Tuggeranong that his boots just as effective and keeping them on their toes.
Absolutely, and if they need an option later on, Cots will certainly show no fear in attacking. Now, can Vikings hit their lines at line of time this occasion?
They've muffed it.
Muffed their lines again, and Katuki takes it at the back for Gungahlin. Here's Vailoaloa showing his playmaking abilities there in midfield, and Connolly. Mitch Connolly in the centres goes out the back to Jamie Cots. Cots showing that footwork we just talked about. Ward finds Garner and gives to Connor Jones.
Nice footwork there from Connor Jones to miss that front up tackle from Matty Wafer.
Brilliant footwork from Jones and got his side over the gain line. Garner using his dancing shoes, and Ward finds a half-metre space, and here's Simon Anu. Eagles looking to strike first in the second grade grand final.
Yeah, great eyes-up play there by Mitchie Ward. He had a look at these sort of edge-of-ruck defence there, and they were found wanting, and he just sliced straight through.
And here's Ellie Sonotti. Players queuing up for Eagles. A hot start from them. Penalty comes. Sonotti looking to play quick. We're just seeing the firepower Gungahlin have, particularly with the likes of Simon Anu, the guys you've mentioned, Cots and Anu, getting their hands on the ball early. Tough to stop.
Yeah, and what they're doing is they're shifting the ball around, so it's making the Tuggeranong defence have to move, and that really opens up the space on those edges, which is where Gungahlin is looking to exploit with those big runners.
And not just playing one-up runners into bodies as well, as you said before, using footwork. Garner, Connor Jones, Mitch Ward, all using their footwork to make it that bit harder on the Vikings.
Yeah,
defense.
Definitely. Their footwork's been so great already on this morning, and also the ball movement in there with their big forwards. Generally you see a guy, of Simon Anu's size, you think he's just going to truck, but they've shifted the ball really well, and it's keeping that Tuggeranong defence on edge. They can't really, shift off.
Well, they'll have to front up now. The scrum is good from the Eagles. Sonotti lurking to the right of Garner, and he gives it off to Sonotti. Somehow Vikings keep out the Eagles winner, but here's Oscar Cunningham around the corner. Ward goes back right to Vailoaloa. Defence is good from Vikings so far. Claude Edwards begging for the ball on this left-hand side. In heaps of space if they can find him.
Gungahlin need to spread the ball here. They've tracked. Oh no, there we go, straight over the side.
Well, it certainly looked like Vikings were beating them back with ease, but one missed tackle, and Stu Crew manages to shift to the left of one and dives over for a well-earned try.
Yeah, it was a great play there. Instead of playing that back and forth, when Gungahlin went that same way a couple of times, we found the defence, not aiming up, shifting back in there, and pretty soft try there, but well done to Stu Crew.
Absolutely earned Player of the Day plaudits for his club. Last time out, did Stu Crew. The man from Cornwall showing his class early on here. Played a lot of third grade and down the grade, Stu Crew, but a genuine lock. And we saw earlier, got Eagles moving in the right direction early on with the steal, and his finish for the try was brilliant.
Yeah,
Edwards makes no mistake with the conversion.
and that's a big credit to the Gungahlin Eagles there, mate. Shows the depth that they've had throughout the club. You say Stewie Cruz played a lot of third grade this year, but he's come up in second grade and hasn't looked out of place.
No, depth being a big point of difference for Gungahlin in 2019, of course. Already a third grade premiership in their lockers for this year. And if the first 10 of the second grade grand final is anything to go by, they're going to be a tough task all day long for this Viking side. Here's Ben Katuki.
Strong carry.
Edwards slips into halfback and Connolly to first receiver, gives to Anu. Definitely gives him another option there in the midfield. Simon Anu. Jars down from Cots. Edwards going to be under heaps of pressure here.
This will be interesting to see what he's ruled here. Yeah, he's ruled that Gungahlin have taken that in goal, which is, I think...
Seemed to be the right call from up here.
Yeah, from our angle, it looks like the right call.
Definitely was touch and go there, Luke.
Yeah, definitely. And this is something you really can't do against Tuggeranong. They pride themselves on their ability to bounce back after you put pressure. When you put points on the board, you invite them down into your territory. You need to exit clearly. Cots is slow to the boot there, and Tuggeranong in prime position here to respond straight away.
Especially given they're on their home turf. Such quality and experience down that side. When you've got to run on the Vikings, you've got to bury them.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to invite them into your 22 at all. They're a clinical side and they know how to execute. And, I'd say you got quality in this back line as well. Trey Henderson's played a lot of first grade as well this year, and Jack Evidence did the side around really well.
Will the ball even get to them? The scrum from the Vikings. Powerful, and the advantage comes. Henderson. Good footwork from Henderson and powerful from the Vikings centre.
Back for a scrum penalty here.
Have to think they might go for another scrum here. Will Vikings.
What are they called? I think they have... they're going for the scrum again. Looks like Tuggeranong are taking an early ascendancy here in the scrum battle. If you notice there, number 1, Junior Satogi is lining up on the tight head side with Matty Wafer, more naturally suited to the loose head. Yeah,
Satongi, a versatile front row, able to play across those three front row positions, but absolutely, Wafer giving Ben Katuki heaps of trouble here early on, at least on their own put-in Vikings. And now having set up Henderson, will they look to go in behind Henderson?
Pretty flat back line here from Tuggeranong though, so you think it's going to be a crash ball on someone.
They go behind to Henderson, but they give it inside to Tory Hides. Smith has to go digging and gives to Joyce. Work well around the corner, Vikings. There's Griffiths, gives the inside ball to Vunilangi. Takes a couple to stop Vunilangi, and here's Tommy Hooper lining up for the ball, but Smith keeps himself, and Corcoran bobbles the ball. Brilliant defence from the Eagles, and will they look to counter here now with Vailoaloa?
Space on the outside.
Gives to Sinotti. It's well met in the tackle there from Nick Marshall. And now they look to exit out of their own zone. Good kick from Dan Garner.
Great D there from Gungahlin, really knowing the opposition. Seamus Smith loves to have the dart from the back of the ruck, and Gungahlin had their eyes up for that, and they really shut him down there, and that's what forced the turnover and gets them out of some pretty tough field position.
Certainly something to keep an eye on, as you say, Luke, with big runners in there for Vikings. Eyes are naturally going to drift to them at times, and Smith will certainly look to snipe. Thought the option there maybe just to give to the big runner there, Tom Hooper, the teenager, coming up and playing second grade here today.
Yeah, I think eyes were sort of in there, so Seamus didn't probably read that, kind of like Mitch Ward did earlier, I think. But the opportunities will open up there as this big Gungahlin fullback starts to get a little bit more tired.
Gungahlin winning the battle at set piece so far. Helgeson first to react, and he wins the turnover for his side at the line-out. Ward plays to Cunningham, and he'll just truck one up. Will Oscar Cunningham. Pistons formation now for Gungahlin, just playing the one-up runners. Now the kick comes in. They go high with Garner. Englert reacts well in a bit of space now. Jet Englert. evades the first, and he needs support. Well played from Thomas to get there, the hooker. And now here's Henderson. Straight back on attack of the Vikings.
Yeah, that's something that Gungahlin are going to want to fix up if they're going to continue to put the ball into, kick with that kicking game. Tuggeranong love to counter attack, and if you don't have that defensive line straight, you open yourself up to counter, and Tuggeranong will look to exploit it.
Absolutely. Chase had to be better there from the Eagles. And they're right back under the cosh here with Junior Satongi. He'll take a couple to get him to ground. Eagles swarm the Vikings loose in. The inside ball now comes from Smith, and Tom Hooper gets them going forward. Wafer finds Ward. Mitch
Nice
Ward.
Carry there from Matty Wafer.
And they come around the corner through Corcoran. Henderson bullying his way close to the line. Hides!
Nice.
It's a try!
Not sure that was the option, but it's 5 points still. Great just determination there from the Vikings winger. He's really just put his head down and burrowed through a couple of defenders.
Absolutely. Caught them napping, Luke, just on that short side. Tory Hides picked the perfect line, buried his head, able to sneak over. But 100%, it didn't look like the right option, but they just caught Eagles napping.
Yeah, like I said, there was
good heads-up play from the Vikings.
There was 3 defenders on that short side and just obviously switched off, thinking it's not running this way. But, again, great determination from the winger, and he's burrowed over for a try.
Absolutely. Young Tory Hides coming into second grade today, as you've said before. Was very impressive off the bench in first grade last week, coming in for Lenny Cattell early. Such a big game. A youngster coming on, showing his class, and certainly a classy finish from Tory Hides. And now, Jack Evenden, a chance to level things up. Vikings making the most of their opportunities there. The Eagles
definitely
getting caught napping there, I thought, on that short-hand side.
Yeah, definitely. And that sort of all comes back to, Eagles struggle to clear from when they scored the try. They've let Tuggeranong back down into their half. And Tuggeranong, they're a clinical side. They'll catch you napping on short sides. They'll look to exploit you where you're not expecting the ball to come.
Absolutely. Kick chase going to have to be a little bit better as well for Gungahlin. Jed Englert found a seam and went straight through it. Found his way down into the Eagles half, and they've made no mistake. Vikings responding well with the try. Now can Eagles get one back for themselves, and here's Corcoran. We carry from Luke Corcoran. Another one with plenty of first grade experience this year. Henderson goes to Pula. A try will give Vikings plenty of confidence after the hot start from Eagles. Evenden with time. Goes straight down the throat of Kotz.
That won't make the coach happy. He was praying for it to hit the grass there.
Kotz looks up and finds a little bit of space. Good position play from Jed Englert, and now he's going to have another run. He was well met by Claude Edwards. And now Eagles can swarm the breakdown.
Yeah, Eagles are going to look to really put some pressure on with their defensive line speed here.
Smith strong to hold on to that. Tommy Hooper throws the ball behind the back straight to Luke Duffy. Now Eagles right back on attack. Not the option there for Tom Hooper, just overplaying in his own zone. Here's Cunningham. Met by Corcoran. Seemed to be questioning whether there was a wrap there, but a good shot from Luke Corcoran.
Yeah, he just ran straight over the top of Corcoran, and he didn't have a chance to wrap, I think.
Garner goes wide early to Sinotti. And here's Kotz.
Well, he's got away.
A good initial tackle from Nick Marshall allowed his support to come. Eagles slow to react. Interesting you said it, Luke. This big Eagles pack will tire at times, and that's caused Oscar Cunningham having to carry once again the loose head.
Yeah, you see there, the Gungahlin 4-pack sort of really struggled to shift to that wide ball, and probably taking them 2 phases to get here, but they've really opened up the space well on this open side.
Good.
That's a nice steal there from the winger.
It was good change in attack from Eagles at the first point, but Tory Hides once again a massive turnover. And now Vikings can get out of their own 22 with Evenden. It's a good strike. It's Better strike from Everton, and he finds the safety of touch.
Yeah,
but absolutely, Eagles slow to react there, but then the change of point of attack through the forwards, really, really good from them.
Yeah, the change of the point of attack, probably I'm just a little bit disappointed in the Gungahlin forward pack here. They're probably just not working that little bit hard off the ball, like they've shifted it, and then they're leaving their runners a bit exposed to the Keano ruck, and, I think it was Hine there just really took advantage of it and had a nice steal.
Simon Anu.
Another big carry from Simon Anu and another bump defender.
Runs straight over Richard Joyce to Simon Anu, and here's the try scorer, Stu Crew. Mitch Ward picks and goes once again, but this time well met by Tom Hooper.
Yeah, just probably didn't get quite clear on there, Mitch Ward. There was certainly a hole on the edge of that ruck again. Something Tuggeranong will probably need to just be vigilant of, make sure that they got that ruck defence clear. That's a couple times have been exposed there now.
Eagles having to work hard to just retain ball here, and there's Cunningham again. Garner goes in behind to Simon Anu.
Yeah, there's a chance here for Tuggeranong to really put some pressure on Gungahlin through.
Just as you were saying it.
Yeah, and that Sam Thomas with the penalty there. He's very strong over the ball, Sam. He's a big frame to move.
Well, just as you were saying it, mate, that some of the Eagles players going up in one-up runners not supported on that occasion. And the turnover was excellent from Sam Thomas, giving it Jack Everton and now chance to clear. It's a good strike on that Jack Everton. It's a line out on the 50. So again, Vikings taking the pressure from Eagles and responding well.
Yeah, it's been really sort of counter punching game. It's been really enjoyable to watch so far. And yeah, Gungahlin are really looking to shift those balls with those fullbacks and having those big runners, but at times, it leaves them isolated and open for a counter ruck. Tuggeranong, to their credit, have taken that opportunity a few times now.
Vuni Langi, well taken by the Eagles' defence. Here's Hooper. Looks to just truck it up this time. Here's Wafer. Smith goes back to Tom Hooper. Chopped low and met high by Mitch Connolly.
Again, a lot of one-out stuff here from Tuggeranong.
Now Thomas shapes to go wide. But again, trucks it up and the penalty comes. Well, they just ran out of numbers there because of the one-up runners.
Yeah, they all set up for a one-off runner there, and then Sam Thomas runs behind three of his blokes who don't respond and leaves them no option but to come in from the side. And, James rightfully penalised Tuggeranong for incorrect entry there. It's a harsh one when you've got the ball to give away.
It is, and it's, especially on days like this, chances to attack. It's going to be tough, and it's something we haven't mentioned. We see Cots get a really good connection on that kick. An unnaturally hot day, I would say, for this time of year out there, Luke. So a couple of guys maybe blowing hard after 20 minutes of red-hot action out there. Yeah, it's a really, really warm day today. It's come as a bit of a surprise, obviously, it's particularly off the back of last week where, we were dealing with snow. And, I think there'll be a few of the bigger boys will be blowing. They haven't played like this for, probably another about 3 months. We'll see who responds. That's Simon Anu over the gain line. The more he touches the ball, the better the Eagles seem to look. There's Helgeson. Hooper, on this note, yes. He certainly was, Tom Hooper. For such a big man, well able to drop his body height and get the turnover. Yeah. And having given that pass away that might have ended up with an Eagles try, he's responded very, very well. Yeah, you look at there, that's a perfect positioning from big Tommy Hooper to get down there. He had his legs wide spread and really lowers that centre of gravity and makes it, another big body that much harder to move. Seems to be a change coming here for Vikings. Simon Anu is hobbling quite badly as well. Running repairs now. It's Isaac Weston coming onto the park for Simone Vuilangi, and much like Simon Anu, Vuilangi was struggling at times there. Yeah, a little bit of an injury. Yeah, he's been carrying pretty strong as well, Vuilangi. So, and replaced by a bit of a smaller man. I mean, probably Tuggeranong will look to change up their tactics here a bit. Well, Weston a very, very good player in his own right. As you said, Luke will give them a different type of player out there, an extra 7. I imagine perhaps Reece Griffiths might move into blind side with Weston more likely to occupy this open side here.
Yeah, and I think it might be a suggestion that Tuggeranong, really looking to.
Well, they seem to have been better when they upped the tempo.
Yeah, definitely.
So perhaps a tactical change as much as an injury change here.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're going to look to really play some up-tempo speed here. You can see that here that there's been a pretty big break, and the Gungahlin forwards have been looking like they've been enjoying it.
Simon Anu seems healthy enough to continue here, so
yeah, he's going to continue
big
on.
win for Eagles.
Interesting defensive structured line out here from the Eagles.
Vikings line out functioning better now.
Trey Henderson steps into a big tackle from Stuart Crew.
Knock-on advantage now, so Vikings play here through Satongi.
Loves to carry the ball, does Junior Satongi.
Here's Tory Hides. Try to his name already in this game, Tory Hides. Eagles holding a slim 7-5 lead, but Vikings on the attack now. Here's Reece Griffiths. Seamus Smith digging for the ball. And the penalty comes. And he's gone quicker, Seamus Smith, upping the tempo.
Has he caught Gungahlin offside? No. Well done there, Gungahlin, to not give away the penalty there for 9 in the 10.
And then the counter-attack came from the Eagles. Have they managed to turn this pill over?
It's not coming. Oh, it has come to Tuggeranong
just come back on the Viking side, so well reacted there from Tuggeranong. And Satongi goes again. Sam Thomas at the base, supported.
Going to the left again.
Oh, it's been knocked on, has it?
Yeah.
Slide knock on at the base there, so a let off for the Eagles. Good pressure at the breakdown from Gungahlin.
They kind of probably slowed it down a little bit too much there, Tuggeranong, and gave Gungahlin an opportunity to really aim up on that edge defence and try and put them back into the ruck and also, obviously dislodge the ball.
Well, they've seemed to have looked better at times when they get Henderson and Puller on the ball. And we've barely seen Nick Marshall in attack yet. Tory Hides, of course, scored that try, but again, not really seen him in a bunch of space just yet.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an unusual game plan from Tuggeranong. One you don't tend to expect it. They've looked to use their forwards a lot more than normal. Like Tuggeranong, when you think Tuggeranong football at its best, is a lot of enterprising back play, and it's just something that they haven't shown yet. Not to say that they won't pull it out a bit later today.
Mitch Connolly finds a bit of a hole off the scrum, and Ward goes to Helgeson, tips on to Stu Crew.
Nice clean out there from Helgeson.
Jones looks to carry after showing outside, and Ward goes back to Cotts. Pressure on Cotts, but he's changed that point of the kick brilliantly in the bounce. Tough to deal with for Jed Englert, and he counter-attacks once again the Vikings fullback, and now here's Marshall.
You've got numbers back here, Tuggeranong, so... But I think Tuggeranong are looking to exploit Cotsey when he's in that pocket to kick back. He seems to be taking a little bit of time to get the ball to his foot, and he's really susceptible to a counter charge there. Tuggeranong were close again.
Vikings mop up well off the kick, and they go high this time. Tom Hooper, the only charger so far, but he's been
good pickup
done
there.
in by Dan Garner and Claude Edwards. Gets Eagles on the counter-attack, and here's Simon Anu. Beats Wonders Anu. Oh, the offload had to come earlier to Garner, had him inside.
Yeah, Simon
just couldn't find him.
Simon Anu's not noted for his passing game. I think it was always being trucked under one arm, and he was going to look to take him on. But I think the ball back on inside to Garner was definitely the player there from Big Simon.
Well, he had options inside, didn't take them. Anu almost went the length himself. But again, kick chase so crucial. Eagles got done once, and on that occasion, Vikings done in by kick chase. Dan Garner alive to the counter-attack, and now Eagles off that counter-attack have a chance to extend their lead with 8 minutes to play here in the second grade grand final. The maul set is brilliant from the Eagles.
Set this up very nicely. They can take their time here and work it very well. The Tuggeranong have come around the side.
Hooper adjudged to have come through the middle here, and he'll get his big body in way of the ball.
Just come back though for
Here's Oscar Cunningham.
Keep those legs pumping, big fella.
Did so well to just get that ball out of that maul. And now can the Eagles slow it down and get their second try of the day? Can't imagine this ball will move very close from this 5-metre channel here in the Eagles. They're trucking it up one at a time.
Have they caught the ball up off the ground here, Tuggeranong?
Vailoloa digging. Ball's gone back. It's scrum. Eagles. Good spoiling.
Sam Thomas is in a world of hurt on the sideline here.
Yeah, we just heard the Vikings coaching staff just ask the question whether Sam Thomas's shoulder might have come out there.
Sounds like it must be a pre-existing one. He's carrying it. He's walking off the field. That's maybe a little bit of inexperience there from Sam Thomas. You hold the field as an injured player for as long as possible. Play won't go on while you're on the field, but coming straight off, there's no reason why we should be stopping play now. There's no players injured. James got the game going on.
No. And a like-for-like replacement, an experienced replacement, straight onto the field here.
Yeah,
Michael Chick Henry straight into the front row.
They don't come much more experienced than Michael Henry. He's a long-term first grader for Tuggeranong Club. And we'll bring a wealth of experience and just cool the Jets here for Tuggeranong.
One of the best players on the field a year ago as Vikings won their premiership. You can see Sam Thomas he knows something serious there. I have to agree there might have been a pre-existing thing there. He knew straight away that his day was done.
Yeah, he's looking pretty dejected down there on the sideline.
Have to feel for such a talented player, but
yeah, he just never been able to get that run of consistent games through. He's a super talented player.
As we said before, they won't lose much with Chick Henry on at hooker. Eagle scrum doing better there, and Simon Anu has met well. Short ball to Mitch Connolly from Garner. Really good tackle from Trey Henderson. Here's Oscar Cunningham. He's been the Eagles' best so far in this first half. Yeah, so active, the loose head.
Got to see so much amount of work in his 50th game.
Vailoloa goes wide to Anu for the corner. And it's a try.
Well done there by Simon Anu. He had plenty of cover coming across from the defence from Tuggeranong, but he just head down and went right through.
Well, as they have done at times today, Luke, they changed the point of attack well. Simon Anu on the left-hand edge. And he did so well to finish it. Henderson coming across, but
just a fraction too late there was Trey Henderson.
Got his big paw out there, got the ball down just before he went out of touch. A great finish from Simon Anu.
Yeah, great finish, He's got big hands there, Simon Anu. Makes it really easy to control that ball in one hand and just gives you that little bit of leverage to when you're going to extend out and put the ball over the try line.
Talk about a talented man, Simon Anu. Brilliant footballer, brilliant musician, brilliant singer.
And just all-round, genuinely great guy.
Absolutely, and he's been active in this first half. When he gets a roll on, very tough to stop. And as you said, such a big inclusion for the Eagles in these last 2 weeks. And now, can Claude Edwards find the range? Short run up here from Claude Edwards. If he can get this, he'll push his side to 9 points. Not the finding the range on that occasion. He can generate some power from that 1-2 run up.
Yeah, he's got a good strike through the ball, but just the radar was off there. I think the message is going out for Tuggeranong, though, will be that, I think they just want to have some ball in hand. They haven't had much of the ball in this first half, so they want to be trying to control it for the next 5 minutes.
Interesting to hear the Vikings staff there saying kick the ball into the sun. Definitely tough for the Eagles to deal with in this first half, but it'll be Vikings who have to deal with it after this next 5-minute period. Cots put under pressure on that occasion. And now Vikings with a good attacking platform here in the last 5 minutes of the first half. It's been a back and forth affair, but the Eagles 7 points clear Griffiths calls it in. Bit of indecision there from Vikings, but they execute well.
Yeah.
Evenden finds Joyce.
Strong carrier in the midfield is Richard Joyce.
They flash back right now through fullback Jake Angler, but it's been picked off by Stu
Fast
Crew.
enough, Stu Crew. The answer's no.
Uses his footwork, does the Eagles lock. He picked that out of the air brilliantly, did Stuart Crew. And now can the Eagles add another to their tally before the end of this first half? Katuki runs straight into Junior Satongi.
Turnover there. Tommy Hooper, I think, was on that ball and flicked it up. It's well done by the big guy.
From the big lock. And here he is on the carry, goes behind Hooper to Englert and then to Griffiths. Here's Marshall. Shows his gas. The winger. Here's Evenden.
Playing very deep here, Tuggeranong. They've invited Gungahlin defensive line-up.
Absolutely. With the extra bit of space, able to use the hands. And they force the penalty, and here's Michael Henry. Oh, just tried to throw the cap flap offload. Wry smile there from Michael Henry as he comes off the deck.
Yeah, trying to show that, you know.
Talk about a man who's probably the most relaxed player out there. He's been in these games how many times?
I would hate to think how many grand finals Michael Henry's played in and won.
An embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, he's had a great career, old Chick Henry. But yeah, he knows, mate. You're only down by 7, and you know there's still a very, very long way to go in this game. Yeah, just Tuggeranong need to get their hands on the ball and control possession for a few more phases.
They seem much more dangerous when they play with width and pace. Luke, particularly with, you see Marshall get his hands on the ball there for the first time. He's got plenty of toe. Henderson and Pula, they've been active, but they've been kept quiet by the Eagles in this first half.
I think, yeah, Tuggeranong have played into the hands of Gungahlin really well, trying to sort of keep it in the forwards. And that's, credit to the Gungahlin defensive effort here. Like they've made Tuggeranong have to play it through the forwards here and not be able to spread that ball wide. But Tuggeranong do look lethal when they can get it to the Trey Hendersons and Nick Marshalls with a bit of room to move.
They go close at the start, but now they go wide. It's been turned over by Sinotti, but his entry was just in the side now. And a decision to be made from Vikings. They go for the shot at the post.
Again, experienced play here from Tuggeranong. And in finals, points on the board is, gold. It's money in the bank. And, this is just about, you can throw it over from here, Jack Everton. He's got one of the most reliable boots in second grade competition. And it puts them to be down by 4, try get them in front.
Well, again, when they've not been at their best as well, you'd have to say. So to be only 4 points down, having maybe not been at your best, certainly gives them confidence going into the second half.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it just goes to show Tuggeranong is that, we're coming down here, we're leaving with points. It puts Gungahlin into a frame of mind where they don't want to be trying to give away penalties, which in itself opens up different opportunities for Tuggeranong to exploit through attack with the ball.
Absolutely. Now with a minute to play, just see if I think both sides will be happy enough with the halftime hooter. It's been a all-out affair.
Yeah, it's been
in this first half of the second grade grand final.
It's it's been sort of 22-22 kind of football. It hasn't been a lot of time by either team in either of the 22s, but it's been certainly a quick affair.
They go long this time to Richard Joyce. Joyce evades 1, evades 2. Richard Joyce. Mitch Ward on the ball here, and the counter-attack comes from Gungahlin. They've got a turnover. Just seconds to play here in the first half, but can they extend their lead? Vailoaloa looks for the kick in behind. He's put Isaac Weston under a heap of pressure here. Vailoaloa
on that ball, I think.
Yep. Put the kick in, and now he's got the turnover. Eagles flash left. If they go through the hands, they'll score. It goes wide to Simon Anu, and in the
I don't think he's got this down.
Tory Hides might have come up with one of the best cover tackles you ever see. All you have to do is put the ball down.
I think Simon Anu has absolutely butchered a sitter of a try here.
It's no try. As we see here, Simon Anu, all he's got to do is put the ball down. Looks to go with the right hand, and he's been absolutely whacked by Tory Hides.
in big games, you don't like to see players make simple mistakes like that. That's
He'll be kicking himself there, Simon Anu.
yeah, particularly, there's 50 seconds left on the clock when Gungahlin kicked that ball off. They turned the ball over, and, they could have been walking away with 5 points and to raise that penalty goal from Tuggeranong. But, again, you got that's credit there in desperation to Hines there for getting over and making that effort to put Simon into touch.
He's had a couple of massive involvements, Turi Hides, in this first half. And as it is, that's the end of the first half here in the second grade grand final. A massive chance goes begging for Eagles to push themselves out to beyond 4 points here in the second grade grand final. But as it is, it stays 12 points to 8 for the Gungahlin Eagles. Tries to Stuart Crew and Simon Anu give them a 4-point lead. Turi Hides, of course, getting that try for Vikings and a penalty from Jack Evenden. Well, will they live to regret missing out on that one, Luke?
Look, you hope not for Simon's sake, but again, in big games, you need to be putting that ball down as soon as you get across that line. You don't want to leave yourself open to, weird things happening, whether it be a draw spilling out of your hand or being put into touch. Let's hope Gungahlin don't come to regret that one.
Absolutely. Such a fascinating second half to come. Two sides with bags of quality. We'll be back soon for the second half of the 2019 Griffin Eagle John O'Den Cup second grade grand final. Plenty more to come, including that big one. Royals taking on Vikings for first grade. We'll be back soon. Hello and welcome back to Viking Park for Grand Final days. The second grade Grand Final enters the second half with the Eagles 12 points to 8 to the good against Tuggeranong. As you see, Vikings try to attack out of there. Red zone early doors here. Joined in commentary by Royals, Luke Fisher. Luke, a cracking second half, and we're straight back into the action here in the second.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's been change as well in the front row for Tuggeranong at halftime. I think number 16, Tom Carney, might have come on.
Well, we'll have to have a look now as you see Nick Marshall in a bit of space. Offloads to Isaac Weston. Yeah, absolutely. Tom Carney out there.
Junior Satogi is the player from Tuggeranong who's gone off.
Griffiths carries for Vikings. Evan takes the ball to the line, but just loses his feet.
Good clean out there, Matty Wafer.
Smith looks to pick, but he's well met by Garner. Evan plays halfback, goes back to Travis Puller. It's a good kick from Puller, just gets it over the head of Claude Edwards, and tough bounce to deal with. Vailoa telling Kotz to kick, but Kotz looks to counter. Gives the inside ball to Ellie Sonotti. He's under pressure now here, Ellie Sonotti.
Good D there from Griffiths.
If that was the chance to a counter-attack there from Kotz. Put his side under pressure now. Oh, it's been bobbled by Jones. The pass of Mitch Ward just creaking a little bit low there. And now from the counter-attack, the good defence from Vikings. Brilliant exit all up from Tuggeranong there.
Yeah, excellent there by Tuggeranong, and it shows you the value of having really good pressure on your kick chase. Eli come in under Kotze and left himself quite isolated and was met by 3 defenders, and Tuggeranong able to slow the ball, get that line speed really set and in the face of the Gungahlin, which Connor could just feel the pressure of the defensive line. He looks up and he drops the ball.
To wait and see what kind of difference Tom Carney will make to this set piece for Vikings.
Fought well here, Tommy Carney.
And Smith gives to Evenden. Henderson takes the ball to the line. He goes wide early to Englert. And here's Tory Hides in a bit of space. Goes inside Tory Hides. Question if that tackle was high, but we play on. They go wide to Richard Joyce. Shapes the tip to Michael Henry, but keeps playing. Corcoran.
Experience here from Michael Henry, just keeping that player down after the ball's moved.
Smith to Wafer, just takes it into contact. Got through plenty of work, did the tight head in the first half, and keep it on going here in the second. And there's Henry.
Repeated efforts there from Jack Eggleston, showing the class of the player.
Smith to Evenden. Gives wide to Corcoran, but that ball goes to deck. First knock on there from Vikings. So Eagles unable to play out. That's why we come for the scrum.
Yeah.
Good defensive line from the Eagles, putting
Excellent.
Luke Corcoran under heaps of pressure there.
It shows you that the best aspect of your defence can be shown by your line speed. There, you get up off the line and you put the attacking player into 2 minds. Luke Corcoran looks up there and doesn't focus on the ball and drops a pretty easy pill.
Both sides having their moments here early in this second half. You just feel with the way the score is, Luke, 8-12, 12-8 I should say, that if Eagles can get on the board first, it'll give them a massive lift in this second half. But on the opposite side, if Vikings can, who still haven't given their best here yet, can get an early lead in this second half, it'll be massive for their confidence. We see Luvai Loa scoot off the base and go for the halfback kick, but he's brought that back in.
Yeah, probably overplayed his hand there a little bit, maybe shanked it off the side of the boot. But the scrum was fed outside the 22, so that's taken back in by Gungahlin, and that rule's been in for a while now, so just got to know better there.
So he's showing his halfback skills, but the kick just too long, so Vikings straight back on attack, and here's Tom Hooper. Finds a man. Good feet from Tom Hooper, and now Vikings can go forward. Smith goes wide to Travis Puller.
Good
Puller's
line.
in a bit of space. Smith gives to Joyce.
This is the...
He's only metres away now, Joyce. The ball spills out the back. And the Eagles have turned it over, and here's Oscar Cunningham.
Turned over again, I think.
Cunningham's had that ball ripped clean, so now the Vikings are on attack again, and here's Richard Joyce.
Oh, he's been hit high.
Heaps of numbers if they go left, and Hooper gives to Henderson. Goes inside, Henderson had options outside, but pops it off to Tom Hooper. Nick Marshall met well by Ellison Noddy.
Good experience there from Eli. Oh.
They go left, Smith with Isaac Weston, and the ball just doesn't go to hand.
Smith's starting to overplay his hand a little bit too much down these short sides. You know, like it's a 50-50 play there. Even if he gets that ball away, his player's isolated. You know, you're risking a counter-attack here. I think you've got to play a little bit more footy. Like I said, Tuggeranong haven't had a lot of ball this game, and they've just given the ball back to Gungahlin.
Absolutely, and opportunities mightn't come that often. So they've got to take their opportunities when they get them, Vikings. But the Eagles still under heaps of pressure here, and Simon Anu's day is done for Gungahlin. Unable to shake off that injury he sustained in the first half.
Yeah, unfortunately for Simon, his last real involvement of the game is going to be not scoring that try in the end of the first half. And hopefully, again, like I said, doesn't come back to bite Gungahlin. It's a great scrum from Tom Carney.
Replaced by Liam Colley there is Simon Anu. Ward's kick doesn't get much distance, so another chance to attack for Vikes.
Yeah, Tuggeranong get great field position here. Mitch Ward did not find much distance off that box kick. And, you know, Tuggeranong have started to look to play a bit more what I call Tuggeranong football of old. They're sort of getting around that corner. They're using their backs a little bit more. Again, so I think Tuggeranong's starting to see this game open up for them.
They go long to Hooper. Great take from Hooper. One-handed at the back, and Wafer comes around the corner. Evenden gives to Henderson. Every time Henderson touches the ball, he's met by 3 or 4 Gungahlin defenders. Colley comes straight through the middle of the ruck. Penalty advantage now for Vikings. Henry goes around the corner to Hides. Penalty comes.
He's got him for offside there. Said he hasn't come through the gate.
The message comes on from Vikings to go to the corner, but the call on field is the points. 12-8, 3 points here, probably assured with the left footer Jack Evenden.
Yeah, as I said, he's one of the most reliable kickers in the second grade comp, and this is a pretty easy kick for him. You got to go with the feeling out in the field. You know, I think Tuggeranong feel firmly well in this game, and you know it puts them again that little bit closer, and it means that yeah, I guess that
it means they're coming away with points every time as well. They've had a couple of opportunities here, and now you get to take your points, get back to halfway, and go again. But yeah, perhaps, at least from the coach's point of view, looking to really lay a marker with 10 minutes played, which 10 minutes which Vikings have dominated, and they get the first points of the second half. Jack Evenden, a chip kick for the left footer.
Yeah, from the coach's perspective, I think he's starting to feel that Tuggeranong is starting to firmly be the team that's on top in this game, and you know you want to be coming away with 5 points in those situations. But again, it's just another reminder to Gungahlin that they can't be affording to give away penalties in that red zone, or Evenden will put the ball over for 3 points.
Decent drop-off from the Eagles, and they've put Vikings under pressure here. Call comes in that it's a knock-on from the Eagles, though, so it'll be put into the Vikings. Just wonder, Eagles might not have, and maybe this was the thinking, Eagles wouldn't have minded giving away 3 there after being under so much pressure for the guts of 10 minutes. So getting a chance to play more rugby in Vikings half, they might be happy enough giving away 3.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think from a Gungahlin perspective, you know, you're happy to give away 3 points there instead of the 5. You know, both teams this game haven't really taken the opportunity to clear out of their half from when they're put on points on the board. So, you know, Gungahlin probably thinking that gets the opportunity to get them down into Tuggeranong's territory and look to exert pressure through to their defence.
Scrum assured from Vikings. It's been excellent in this second half. Henderson holds the ball at the line with Evenden wrapping around. And now they go. Here's Hooper. His influence growing in this game, the young man. destined for international honours this year, Tom Hooper. But playing well in this second grade grand final, but that Garda's through a hole here. Good feed from the Eagles 10. Not held, keeps going. And here we see now Gungahlin, when they have the ball, devastating in attack. The turnover came and they can look to re-establish their lead. Ward. Pass goes high to Stu Crew, but he's mopped up well. The Eagles lock. Slow ball now for the Eagles. And Helgeson gives to Sonotti. With footwork from Eli Sonotti.
You know Sonotti's going to go looking for the ball and do some work from his wing. It relieves it, takes a bit of pressure off his inside backs and off the forward pack as well. And that's some good work there from Sonotti.
Gets them going forward. And here's Cunningham. How many times have we said that man's name in this game? He's been everywhere, has the Eagles loose head. Crew.
He has got through a mountain of work, has Cunningham.
Holds on to the ball for the Eagles. There's Connolly at first receiver. Here's Sonotti again. This time he goes wide to Berthelot. The tip on to Duffy. With footwork from Luke Duffy. Can he get the ball down? From our angle up here, it looked like he might have just got it over. But it's been held up. Brilliant work there. Combination of back rows and outside backs just managing to stop Luke Duffy.
Yeah, Luke Duffy's experience is on show. And there again, another name that most people would associate with a first grade Eagles player. To come back in on the inside shoulder there and really respect the sideline.
Seen here in the replay. Yeah, an arm just under there from Vikings. Really well done from Tuggeranong to manage to hold him up.
And this is to go back to the coach's point about wanting to take those 5 points there from Tuggeranong. It's you've given away, you got the 3 points on the ball, that's great, but they've failed to execute to get out of their half, and now they're really under immense pressure here. And if Gungahlin come away with a 5-pointer here, then just put you that further behind on the scoreboard.
Well, it's always the risk you take, isn't it, when you take your 3 points, is that you are giving away that territorial advantage, and especially with a side like the Eagles who love to play with the ball in hand. They'll have to be at their very best here, Vikings, with a strong Eagles pack. The scrum's been much better for Tuggeranong in this second half, but they've lost Travis Pula coming off the park. That's Nick Marshall, who will slip into outside centre with Jeremy Matutu onto the left wing for Vikings. So running repairs now for Tuggeranong and a new centre combination. Can Eagles take advantage with big scrum coming in on this left-hand side?
Big scrum there from Matty Wafer, and Seamus has done really well to counter-attack there.
And the penalty Cubs, brilliant from the Vikings. First at the scrum and then the counter-attack. Vikings stepping up, particularly in that front row.
Yeah, obviously when you come into play Tuggeranong second grade, you weren't expecting to come up with a front row of Wafer, Henry and Carney. And they're really stamping their authority in the second half as being the more dominant front row.
Now evident and clear. Having stood up to this Eagles response after the 3 points. Vikings, a chance now to settle things down.
Again, we've seen the Tuggeranong want to play some football out of their red zone, and it's a high risk play, but it can come with high reward.
Line out doesn't go to hand, and Jones is first to react. Stu Crew doing a mountain of work there. At line out time, Sonotti gets the offload away, but Marshall gets his hands to it. Will come back.
I think it's coming back to a scrum.
For a knock on.
Again, I think Tuggeranong won't be overly upset about this. They've been applying consistent pressure through their scrum on it, both the tight and loose head sides. But again, it's Gungahlин's ball in a pretty decent field position.
Much down to that work at the line out from Stuart Crew. He's done that a couple of times, has Crew, adding to his 5-pointer in the first half.
Yeah, it wasn't wasn't a clean take. Stuart Crew getting in there and just dropping a little bit. It hasn't been very clinical from Tuggeranong at line-out time, which is something you usually see them excel at.
Better scrum from Eagles this occasion. Ward has to mop up though. Vikings all over the ball. And it's Griffiths this time. Brilliant turnover from Reece Griffiths. Ward was all on his own, and Griffiths wasted no time, straight over the ball. Brilliant turnover.
Yeah, this is something, again, that's been creeping into this Gungahlin packs again in the second half, is that, you know, they're kind of not really making those second efforts there. They didn't break quick enough from that scrum to give Ward the support that he needed to, and he just left Ward isolated for Griffiths just to come in there and mop up, and pretty easy penalty.
20 minutes to play in the second grade grand final. 12 points to 11 in favour of the minor premiers, the Gungahlin Eagles. Brilliant line out on that occasion for Vikings.
Yeah.
Great movement. Evenden gives to Joyce. Carried well in the second half, Richard Joyce. Evenden shapes the pass but goes himself, and it's met by Connor Jones. Clear out from Vikings is good, but
turnover.
Ball
was about 4 knock-ons
turns
there.
over the back. Slight knock-on from the Eagles, so scrum to the Vikings. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Griffin Legal, Han Superdry, PTP in Triffin Hill, Rourke Projects, McDonald's ACT, O'Neill's and Poplars. You are watching live on the Brumbies live streaming partner, Bar TV Sports. A cracking game once again here in second grade after we saw Queanbeyan hang on against Royals to take home the Colts premiership. In a similar way to that game, Luke, it's really hanging the balance here with 20 to play. Feels like next score could be crucial, especially with both sides starting to tire.
Yeah, I think the next try scorer is going to go a long way to sort of sealing the momentum of this game. At the moment, it's sort of sitting on a knife's edge around who's
really go anyway.
Yeah, around who's being the more dominant team. They've gone all off their feet here, but they've got the ball.
Eagles have possession and good turnover. And Duffy is met well by Nick Marshall. Flips over with the turnover. Brilliant from Marshall, and he's won his side a penalty. Acrobatic stuff from Nick Marshall.
Yeah, it was great. Great play there by Nick Marshall, just to hold on to that ball and get flipped over and land on his feet and just keep running. It's really heads up football.
Great turnover, average haircut.
Yeah,
I have to say.
Very average.
He's in a bit of bother here, Nick Marshall. I think he might have just copped one on the side of the jaw there.
Yeah, he's grabbing his jaw.
He's a tough cookie, is Nick Marshall. So
with a haircut like that, I think you have to be.
No doubt. You're letting your intentions known.
Yeah.
That kind of mullet.
Again,
Vikings line out much better in the second half at times.
Just want to say, that was
better options.
A sloppy lift there from Tommy Hooper.
Marshall.
There's no. Ooh, that's yeah.
Absolutely. Bit of miscommunication there in midfield. Marshall not even really showing for the ball, clearly showing the effects of that knock to his jaw.
Yeah, he's still grabbing at it.
Penalty.
He's definitely not looking comfortable out there, Nick Marshall, but it's just, in a game like this, you just got to rub that off, put it out of your mind, and just focus on the next job.
Kotz looks for a bit of space. He's tried to rip off an acre of space here, but he's not gone long enough. Jed Englert reacts best, and he sliced this one. Oscar Cunningham under it. And here goes the big fella. Evades one. Brilliant from Oscar Cunningham.
Well met by Tom Hooper, though.
Ward goes wide to Garner. Good footwork from Dan Garner. Can't quite get his hands free with Mitch Connolly on his left shoulder. Here's Cunningham again. Ward gives to Colley. He goes wide to Kotz. Bit of space now for Jamie Kotz to attack. Best we've seen from the Eagles in this second half. Ward goes to Berthelone, tips on to Stu Crew.
I'd like to see Berthelone start to carry the ball a little bit more. He just really likes to hand it off.
He's been quiet in this game. A good variation for the Eagles, and Kotz still going. Jamie Kotz, what a try! He did it all himself, did Jamie Kotz. Couldn't be stopped, and he scored in the left-hand corner. Yeah. A big try in this game in front of the Eagles home fans.
Yeah, what a corner for Kotzi to put the ball down there right in front of the red and black army. He's just one of those players. He's electric. He's never down, and he can score a try out of nothing.
Well, you said in the first half, Luke, that if he ever chose to attack, he'd be hard to stop. And even with players around him, all around him, he just couldn't be stopped. B1, B2, showed the gas. And then the celebration comes. What a moment for Cots. What a moment for the Gungahlin Eagles. 17 points to 11 with 15 to play. And now the kick to come from Claude Edwards as Mitch Ward comes off the park as well. He's put in a shift.
Yeah, been big effort from Mitch Ward today. He opened up Tuggeranong a couple of times on the fringes of those rucks. But yeah, again, big shift.
We talked about the momentum and the energy. It's Eagles who've taken it with that try from Cots. Now can Vikings respond?
Again, this is going to be critical for Gungahlin to secure this kickoff ball and make sure that they get it out of the territory pretty well. Both teams have been guilty of not exiting well and inviting the opposition back into the 22 after putting on points. And that kick was a pretty important one. Would have put Gungahlin out to an 8-point lead. Gives Tuggeranong a sniff here.
Absolutely. A decent effort from Claude Edwards, but chance goes begging to put them to be on 7. Matt Clifton on at halfback for Gungahlin from Mitch Ward, and Finn Wright onto the park as well. He'll slip into tight head with Katuki. It might actually, we'll have to wait and see on that. Oscar Cunningham well adept at playing across the front. Well, the two prop positions anyway. I don't think he'd fancy himself at hooker, although he's very versatile. Played a lot at lock as well, Oscar Cunningham. So interesting to see next scrum. But Jamie Cots has backed up his try with a cracking kick.
And that's the
pressure all on Vikings once again.
That's it. That's the first time in this half that a team's been able to exit safely and securely off points on the board. Now pressure's back into Tuggeranong. They've got to work out of their red zone when they're looking to score points.
Confident play there from Cots, ripped off 50-odd metres there. The Eagles fullback. And now the ball available at the back, and Jones is first to react.
Well done there, Jones, to put his body on the line.
Slight knock on, but it'll be another chance for Eagles to attack. Less than 15 to go. You hear Stu Crew. He wants his Eagles red and black army to rise up. He's been brilliant all day, Stu Crew.
Stu Crew, he's gone through his work pretty quietly, but he's got through a lot of it. It's just which is what you want out of your second row. You want them cleaning, hitting rucks hard, carrying when they need to carry, and obviously he's taking control at the line out time.
14 minutes to play. So much time left. You have to feel if Eagles can get a try in this next phase of play, they might just put one hand on the premiership.
Look, another try here to Gungahlin, and it makes it a long way back. It makes it a long way back from for Tuggeranong. But if there's one team that in the competition that'll have the confidence to not overwhelm themselves, as I said,
they've got the history, don't they?
Yeah, and you got an experienced head out there like Chick Henry and Richard Joyce. They know that there's nothing. Tries can come out of nothing.
No game is dead until it's dead. Absolutely not. And they've got weapons out there with Marshall and Matutu and Hydes and Henderson. Plenty of firepower for Vikings. So this game far from done. But Eagles get the scrum right. Starts to shift left now, but Clifton gives to Garner. Takes the ball to the line and gives it back inside to Duffy. He's met well by Trey Henderson. Clifton digs for the ball, gives to Colley. Good off the bench, Liam Colley. Tom Carney on the ball for Vikings, but they managed to hold on to possession. Here's Helgeson. Shows and goes. Clifton again. Goes to Vailoaloa. Eagles building the pressure here, and here's Berthelot. Carries Mark Berthelot, still going, but he's been ripped by Turi Hydes.
Hydes has had some absolutely massive plays today. He's try in the first half.
Two try savers, really.
And two try savers just there. But that's the first time that Berthelot has really carried to the line with aggression, and he was making good meters. I'd like to see him continue that up in the last 12 minutes.
Absolutely. He's such a powerful player.
Yeah, he's a big man. He's going to attract defenders, and he's been offloading all the time, and so defenders started to hold off him. So he's got to try and exploit, those one-on-one defenders.
Evenden kicks straight to Clifton, and Garner counterattacks, goes wide to Sinotti. Ellie Sinotti in a bit of space, shows, goes, and scores. Does he? Has he got it down? It's been held up.
Jack Everton has had a huge play there.
Unbelievable.
That's huge by Jack Everton.
It seemed sure that Ellis Sonotti, how could you stop him from that close out? But Everton has put absolutely everything into that. Hits him, gets his body under him,
That
and
is amazing.
somehow manages to hold him up. Incredible from Jack Everton.
The way, he's tackled him and then wrapped his legs up in under. That's a huge play there from Everton. That's the kind of things that can change momentum in a grand final. But he's hurt himself here, and Tuggeranong will really need him to continue on.
Ellis Sonotti is tough enough to stop when he's at a standing start, Luke.
Yeah.
Running full steam, line begging. What an incredible... You look at the scoreboard, this could have been game, set match with Simon Anu. Dead set try. Ellis Sonotti a dead set try. Mark Berthelot on the left-hand edge could have scored. Vikings doing incredible work in defence.
That's 10 points there probably that Gungahlin have left out on the field, and that probably doesn't... Tuggeranong probably out of the game by now if those points go in there. Gungahlin are really inviting Tuggeranong in, and
for a late comeback, no question, but they do have a scrum. And a good scrum for Clifton to launch another attack from.
Really
Garner
well
gives
done
to
there,
Sonotti. He'll want to make up for that one. But he's been ribbed here, Ellis Sonotti. Brilliant from Seamus Smith, the captain stepping up.
Oh.
Henry goes wide early to Marshall.
Marshall's done well to get out of his in goal there.
Somehow manages to just scrape over the line, does Nick Marshall. Smith takes the kicking duties on himself, but if Cots could gather here, it's a race for the line.
Well done there by the Tuggeranong defence.
Smith and Henderson have done brilliantly there. Isaac Weston. High tackle. He's got quick here, Clifton, but he manages to hold on to the ball. Almost a very embarrassing moment there for Matt Clifton. But Eagles on the attack. Here's Jones using his footwork. Just a couple of feet short now, the Eagles. Vailoaloa goes wide.
Makes up for it.
And it's Sonotti who puts one hand on the 2019 second grade premiership for the Gungahlin Eagles. Stopped once, but you couldn't stop him a second time. What a finish from Ellis Sonotti.
Yeah, Ellis Sonotti there, really showing his class. He's a former NRC level player. Former John Ident first grade leading try scorer. He's done well there on a real courage line. It's a line you don't see many wingers. You don't see wingers take those lines very often, but
if there's one who'd take it, it's Ellis Sonotti. And how about the pass from Lua Vailoaloa, showing his halfback skills.
Yeah, it's a valuable asset to have out there. Another back rower who can shift the ball that wide and expose an edge with the fast feet of Eli Sonotti.
And now with a very kickable conversion for Claude Edwards. Gungahlin can put this to 13 points and a mountain to climb for the Vikings. Junior Satongi's back out there.
Yeah, I think Matty Wafer's done for the day. He put in a mountain of an effort.
And this time the kick is good from Edwards.
And still plenty of time here for Tuggeranong to come back into this game. Obviously they've got to respond pretty quickly, and starts here with this kickoff. You need to make it, either got to make your decision of, are you going deep or you're trying to make it a contestable kick? You can't go for a sort of in-betweener.
Absolutely. Two converteds to win. Finn Wright. Good footwork from the young man. And a good settling carry for the Eagles. And here's Colley.
Space on this side if Gungahlin shift it quick enough.
Absolutely. You can see Matutu looking for support, but Vikings not rolling away. That's a penalty for the Eagles, a coach killer there. With the Eagles now able to clear their lines.
It just allows the Eagles to slow it down a little bit too, gather their breath, take good 15, 20 seconds out of this game, and that's what Gungahlin are really asking for.
Cots.
Roscoe, are you okay up there?
Gets a decent kick away. Cots, and he's put his side into Vikings half. Has to be said now, if Eagles score next, this game's over.
Would be very hard to see Tuggeranong come back from 3 tries down.
Jones. waits for the call. Helgson calls it back. It's a good line out from the Eagles, and they get them all going. Vailoaloa at the back, controlling things. And he goes and he puts a bomb up, does Lua Vailoaloa. Blake Henman on the park, first to react, and he's reacted brilliantly. Has the Vikings veteran. Got to go quick, and he does. He's gone wide to Chick Henry here, and Henry bumps off to Matutu. One-on-one here, Jeremy Matutu with Duffy. Beats Duffy, does Matutu. Ooh. Beats Berthelot. High shot inside, so advantage coming for Vikings.
Lazy arm there.
Evenden goes wide to Griffiths. Griffiths takes it into contact, and he's got some good go forward here for Vikings. Smith gives to Evenden. Evenden steps inside to a massive hit.
I think we'll
from
back
Jake
for the high shot
Helgeson.
here.
Back for the high shot we come. Jay Matutu showing his gas.
And again, now we see Tuggeranong start to use the ball and take their space, and they're looking more effective. It's been an un-Tuggeranong-esque performance this week.
7 to play at Viking Park. Gungahlin Eagles 24, Vikings 11. Has to come in the next couple of minutes for Vikings if they're going to have any chance of coming back here. That kick has not gone out from Evenden. Kotz puts the banana on. So still, Vikings put in the getaway with one there, Vikings, but Evenden missed a chance to push them closer.
Probably just trying to bite off too much there, Evenden, for his boot. You know, you've got to take the safety of the sideline there.
Good line out from Vikings. And Evenden plays to Joyce, tips it to Sam Allen onto the park, and a good carry from Sam Allen.
Turned over though.
Turned over from Lua Vailoaloa. Jones, one of the first to react, and he's been ripped here, Jones. But the penalty comes. Not releasing.
Got a knee to the ground there, I think, the Gungahlin player. It's a pretty heads-up play. You know, you got to fight to get that knee on the ground. You're then deemed tackled. Got to release.
It was Connor Jones in there, just managed to get one knee to the ground, and out Kotz. With every minute that ticks along, Eagles closer to their first second-grade premiership since 1992. Be their second of the day, joining Queanbeyan with 2 premierships today. All leading to the first-grade grand final. Not long to go until that one. Make sure you stay on with us here with Bar TV and Brumbies Rugby. A fantastic day of rugby. Eagles looking to cement what has been a well-deserved win here, if they can hang on. That's not going to do them any good, going behind to Mitch Connolly. Has to mop up, and he does well, Connolly.
Yeah, that's not the cleanest play we've seen today.
Stu Crew carries for Gungahlin. Just settling things here are the Eagles. Is Rummery finding a bit of space.
I will say the Gungahlin forward pack is starting to look a little bit tight. I know they've had a few changes, but there's, you know, you can throw a blanket over the whole tight 5 there.
Brilliant from Garner. Finds a bit of space. The hop was good for Hyde, but he runs straight into an Eagles defender. The counter ruck comes. And have the Eagles turn this one over? They haven't. Penalty comes for Vikings. They've got to move quick here, Tuggeranong. Smith takes it on himself, and they go. Henry goes wide to Matutu. Good tackle from Kotz, and now they've got to react here, Vikings. The counter-attack. Counter-ruck is brilliant from Eagles, but it's been knocked on. Smith goes wide to Evenden and gives to Carney from a stand start.
He's done well there, Tom Carney.
Evenden looks inside to Blake Henman. Henman stays on his feet and keeps going.
Is Vailoaloa lower on that? No, got cleaned out.
Scrum Vikings, but 3.5 to play.
The task gets more and more difficult with each breakdown in play here.
Absolutely. An absolute mountain to climb, no question. You see, I think that's Sam Allen to the pitch now. It was Brazel who had the big carry earlier on. Finn Wright looks to be in a bit of bother.
Yeah, he's
See Max Swanenberg coming onto the pitch here for Stuart Crew.
well done, Stuart Crew. That was a man of an effort today.
Absolutely brilliant effort from Stuart Crew. You just feel the nervous energy building. Eagles close to sealing this win, but still with work to do. And Vikings knowing they almost need to strike within these next 2 minutes.
They'll be wanting to strike sort of in the next minute or so. Otherwise, it becomes very, very difficult.
Well, we saw Royals leave it too late for their run, as Henderson is met well at the point of contact, and Swanenberg. A good first involvement for him off the bench, but is that the moment where it just slips out of Vikings' hands?
Gungahlin definitely now control their own fate. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. By the time this ball comes out of the scrum, it'll probably be 2 minutes. It's up to them to just wind down this clock, through some forwards play, and then, enjoy the celebrations.
In a season that promised so much for the Eagles. Alive in all grades going into finals. Tipton Colts, one of the best sides in first grade. It was disappointing in both those. So for the third grade and second grade to stand up here on grand final day, bringing home what seems to be a pair of premierships, bringing back 2 premierships to Nichols. They look to close it out with Clifton giving to Duffy. Duffy manages to get to ground. The call to release comes, so Marshall's got to move.
No roll. There's a million penalties in this ruck. I don't know what.
It's been a loud play on, and Marshall counter-attacks, and the penalty comes on the Vikings side. Smith goes quick. Has a bit of space. It gives it to Tongi. Good offload from Satongi. Now they've got a chance here to do Vikings. Matutu. He's been ripped cold here, Matutu, and Colley does brilliantly. He's had a couple of massive involvements off the bench, has Liam Colley. Clifton tries to get in behind Vikings defence, puts them under pressure, and here's Tory Hides. If he can find a seam here, Hides, he's quick. Whoa, big contact there from
there was a
Cunningham and Eli
massive
Sonotti.
shoulder charge there from Eli Sonotti. He's lucky to get away with that one.
Carney has to gather. Final minute of action. The premiership sealed for Eagles, but can Vikings
Blakey Hammond with a big ball.
put one last effort into this? Weston on the wing. Here's Evenden, plays halfback to Henman and gives to Henry on a good line.
James has got that.
But it's just gone forward.
And this might be
And that
the
might be
last
the final
scrum
moment.
of the day. I think by the time they pack the scrum, time will be up and it'll be easy clearance into the sidelines for Gungahlin to really celebrate a well-worked win here.
Well, they've certainly stepped up at times, and they had to soak a lot of pressure in this second half early on, Luke, and it all seemed to change with that, taking those 3 points for Vikings. The message came on from the Vikings coaching staff to go for the try, and ever since then, Eagles have controlled this game.
Yeah, definitely, and I think, whether you take the 3 points there or not, sort of immaterial. The important fact there is that they didn't clear from their zone after that. They invited Gungahlin back in, and Gungahlin were able to shift the momentum back to them. And I think, this is probably pretty unusual display from Tuggeranong. They haven't really injected their backs at all into the game. When they did, they looked dangerous, but that's credit to the Gungahlin defence. They've let Tuggeranong, they've dictated to how Tuggeranong can play.
And with the penalty and with the hooter comes the premiership for the Gungahlin Eagles.
They need to put this ball into touch.
All they've got to do is put it into touch, and this one will be done. Garner sends it long into the stands. A brilliant premiership, a well-deserved victory for the Gungahlin Eagles. Unbeaten in the regular season, minor premiers. Had to come the long way after losing to Vikings, and they've got ultimate retribution here on grand final day. A 24-11 victory for the Gungahlin Eagles in the second grade grand final in the Griffin Legal John Allen Cup. Their second of the day after taking that third grade. A well-deserved victory, Luke, and a brilliant display.
Yeah, congratulations to Gungahlin. Obviously, caps off a very, very, very good season for them this year. They're definitely the team to beat this year, and they were clinical today. They took their opportunities, they made the most of them, and well done.
Absolutely well done. 24-11. Probably fair reflection in the end of the day of some of their play in this second half, but a very good Vikings display at times, as you said, maybe not picking the right options at certain points in this second half, but brilliant tries from Shu Crew, Simon Anu, Eli Sonotti, and Jamie Cotts sealing a magical win for the Gungahlin Eagles. Who were some of the best? Who were some of the standouts for the Eagles?
Oscar Cunningham, for me, got through a manner of work for a loose head proper. He was around everywhere. Jamie Cotts, the few opportunities he got, he made the most of, and I think his kicking game today was probably the best aspect of his game. He really put Gungahlin into good field positions that Tuggeranong couldn't really handle. They'll probably too, and I think Garner directed them around pretty well at 5'8".
Absolutely. Well, it's a season that promised so much, as we said, and they've come away with 2 premierships on the day, Gungahlin. A well-deserved victory in second grade. Congratulations to them. That's it for us in the second grade grand final. Next up, it's the big one. Glory awaits for Royals and Vikings in the Griffin Legal John O'Den Cup grand final. We'll be back very soon. But for myself and for Luke, 24-11 Eagles, a 2019 premiership.
First of all, I'd like to say well done to the Vikings boys. It's great to fight one to do every time we get into battle. I'd like to say thank you to the refs, James, the other guys, thanks to support staff, please, Greg, I did this for you boys, not one, yeah, boys.
One, two, three.